Hey Fae folk, welcome back. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about some Ever After High dolls that I perhaps judged just like a little too harshly. So long ago, I don't know how long ago at this point, but like quite some time ago, I did a series of videos where I ranked all of the Ever After High dolls, and that was far before I watched all of the Ever After High media, if you might know, because I won't stop talking about it. I did recently finish watching all of the Ever After High media, and it gave me a very new perspective on the brand. And I definitely feel a lot more connected to and interested in some of the designs after seeing them in like the animated versions. So I was going back and I was looking at those rankings and I was like, some of these just don't feel right anymore. Like most of them, I do still feel like are close enough, or like I still hold the same opinions on the dolls. But some dolls I've really changed my thoughts on. And so I just wanted to highlight some of those today. I'm not really talking about any dolls that I feel more negatively about because I honestly don't think there are any. But I just wanted to shout out some dolls that I ranked somewhat lowly in those previous videos that I actually have a much higher opinion of today. I just thought this would be a fun thing to do because, like, I don't know. I feel like for most people, their opinions might change and evolve over time. At least for me, that is very much true with dolls. And so I thought it would be fun to highlight some of the dolls that I feel a little bit more close to now and a little bit more charitable to now, and just talk about the dolls that I think I ranked incorrectly back then. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully this will be fun for you guys. Of course, everything I'm talking about is just going to be my opinion, and you're free to disagree. You might think these dolls are all butt ugly, and as long as you can be respectful about it, absolutely sound off in the comments. But yeah, let's go ahead and just jump on into it. Alrighty, so while we are looking at this, I'm not going to be talking about the tiers by name. So I'm not going to be saying, oh, this doll I ranked in bad tier, or like I ranked in just okay, just because those can be sort of ambiguous as to where they're placed in a tier system. So just know that there were 6 tiers total. So if I say, oh, this doll was in 4th tier, like that was closer towards the bottom, I just feel like numbers make it a little bit easier to know sort of how far down I had ranked these dolls. Also, I probably should have done this after doing like a personality based ranking, because I still want to do that. I'm working on prepping it, like where I rank the characters not based on their appearance, but on their personality and how much I liked them in the media. And realistically, I should have done that first, but like we're way past that point now. I'm literally already here. So we're just forging ahead. The only reason I say that is because there's going to be a lot of Maddie. Starting off with Maddie's core doll, I originally ranked her in 3rd tier. And if that's not bad, I mean, out of 6 tiers, that's middle of the road. But now when I look at her, she's such a cutie patootie. And I really do think that watching the media had a huge impact on how I feel about Maddie's dolls, because I loved her character so much. So now when I look at her, I'm just filled with joy. I don't know why I ranked her so low beforehand. Like, I guess I just didn't have that sense of joy and whimsy and connection when I looked at her. She's cute though, like even purely from an aesthetic standpoint, she's very fun. Like the teacups and like the teapot bag. It's funny, it's cute, she's funky. Again, like it's not that 3rd tier is necessarily a horrible tier, but now top tier. I love this girl. She's so cutie patootie. Then another Maddie doll was the Hat-tastic Tea Party Maddie. This image that I'm showing you guys is kind of rough, and I do apologize for that. She came in like a playset, and so it's sort of more difficult to find stock photos of just the doll, because obviously the stock photos want to promo the entire playset. But I ranked her in 4th tier, which is like definitely getting down there. Like that's not a great ranking for her. And I can sort of see why. Like I definitely think this design is less strong than her core design. And I think the reason I like it more is definitely a lot more tied to me just really liking Maddie. But I do think she looks cute here. I feel like the cutouts on her dress are really nice. The like nice fishnets with the gold shoes, super duper. And I like the hair colors they gave for her too in this doll. Like they're a little bit lighter than I feel like she usually gets, a little bit more towards the pastel. Like they're not quite pastel colors, but they're a little bit closer to that. And I think it's just like a fun difference. She's cute. I wouldn't go so far as to call her top tier. Realistically speaking, she'd be like 2nd or 3rd tier for me now, but I still feel better about her than I did back then, so I still wanted to shout her out because she's another Maddie doll that I like. This next doll I feel sort of similarly about, in that I don't think that she would jump like straight to top tier, but I do think I was a little too harsh on her, and that is the Through the Woods Blondie Locks doll. I think what got me is that it is somewhat of a simplistic look. Like it's definitely not a super intricate, crazy thing like the original Throne Coming dolls. There's so many layers and details with those dolls that I think it's easy to, on a purely aesthetic standpoint, just be like, wow, that's so impressive. Whereas this is definitely a lot more simple, but I've come to appreciate that. I still think she is really cute despite her simplicity. I like the pattern on her. I almost called this a jacket. This is a like capelet. I don't know what that was, but I like the pattern on there and how it both matches and also contrasts with the pattern on her dress. Like they are almost identical colors, so they sort of blend together, but they are different patterns. And I think that that's just sort of a fun thing to do. I think that her little like knee-high socks that are the sheer socks, so cute. Like I ranked her in fourth tier originally, and I just think that was a little bit too mean. I think, again, just like with that Hatastic Maddie, she would probably be somewhere in like the third or second tier range, maybe like right in the middle there for me now. So not a huge jump. But looking at my old rankings, I honestly just felt kind of bad that I put her so low because there's nothing wrong with her. Like she's a perfectly pretty doll. She's maybe a little simple, but simple can be good sometimes. Next up, we are back to another Maddie, and this one I think is honestly the craziest one of today's video. I'm almost angry with my old self for ranking her so low. This is the Way to Wonderland Maddie Hatter, and I ranked her in fourth tier. What was going on with me? I'm so confused. Like, I can't believe I didn't see the vision with this doll. She's so pretty. Right now, straight to first tier. Like, one of my top Ever After High dolls. I think she's so gorgeous. The volume with her sort of like jacket dress situation is so good. The tights are such a beautiful, lovely coral color. She's got a cute little ring, and the huge oversized hat is just so perfect. Like I honestly do not know what was wrong with me in those ranking videos. I don't know why I didn't like this. Like I can't understand the critiques that I had. Because looking at her now, I'm like, this is truly and genuinely a perfect doll. I have no notes. So I'm finally bringing this doll to justice. She deserves to be praised. I regret my actions. Kind of similar for the Way to Wonderland Kitty Cheshire doll. I think she's so cute. I ranked her in third tier before, which again, kind of middle of the road, not necessarily an insult, not as bad as my ranking for Maddie, but I still think it was too low and I would still put her in top tier at this point, despite the fact that the one that I bought and tried to unbox immediately broke on me. I'm still working on that whole situation, but like I'm gonna have it at some point. Like she's going to be complete and beautiful at one point. I just think she's such a fun doll. It does help, again, much like with Maddie, that I like enjoyed her character. So I think that's making me a little bit more favorable towards her dolls. I also thought that Kitty was a pretty fun character, especially in Spring Unsprung and then Onward. I really, really liked her character. So I think that is helping me feel more warmly towards this doll. But I also think it's the colors, honestly. Like when I originally ranked her, I was a little bit unsure of this color scheme that was going on here because it is maybe a little bit different, maybe a little bit out there. It's Way to Wonderland line. Of course it's out there. Like that makes perfect sense for this to be kind of a weird color scheme. But over time, the more that I look at this doll, and especially now that I have seen her in person, she's so pretty and the color scheme is weird in a good way, whereas I think before it kind of struck me as weird in like a neutral to bad way. I definitely have grown to really, really like this. And like the odd silhouette for her dress, the funny hemline on the lower layer of her skirt, like it's just so fabulous. The oversized ears, the green in her hair. I love this doll so much. She would be popping up to first tier if we were doing this ranking now. Okay, this is the last time that we're going to talk about Maddie this video, I promise. But I needed to talk about her Legacy Day doll. I originally ranked this doll in third tier, and I don't think I would bring her up quite to top tier, but I would definitely place her like solidly in second tier this time. Like she at least deserves to be close to the top. Not that third's like super far, but you know what I'm saying. I think the colors on this one are definitely different than like the Maddies that I would say are my absolute favorite. Like if you compare it to the Way to Wonderland one that we just talked about, that one's definitely a lot more vibrant, and I think I prefer that for Maddie. So that's probably why she still wouldn't be top tier for me with her Legacy Day outfit, because this is definitely slightly more toned down. I feel like it's a little wild to see a Legacy Day outfit or a Maddie Hatter doll and be like, oh, that's so toned down. But in comparison, like the colors are a little bit more towards the jewel tone versus like the bright neons or even the pastels that we saw with the Hatastic Tea Party Maddie. but she's still really, really pretty. I think she's very unique, and perhaps I wasn't able to appreciate that as much before. Like, she's got this jacket situation, she's got like a skirt pant combo, and I guess that just wasn't the vibe when I was doing the Ever After High ranking originally, but it's Maddie. So it is the vibe now. And also the tea bag, that's funny. Like, that's objectively genuinely hilarious. So again, even though I don't think she would be quite top for me, I definitely think she's a lot better than I thought she was before. So I wanted to shout her out as well. I just can't stop talking about Maddie. Okay, we're shaking it up a little bit because we're doing another Kitty Cheshire doll. This is her Spring Unsprung doll, and I originally ranked her in third tier. I think I would bring her up like halfway between first and second tier at this point. I still don't like the leggings, and that was a huge problem that I had with, honestly, all of the Spring Unsprung dolls. I just didn't necessarily think that the leggings looked super, especially because like the patterned leggings with the patterned dresses and skirts and stuff, like it can be a lot happening. I think that this is definitely not the worst example of that because the leggings have a print, but it's not a super, super intense print. Honestly, because there's already a gradient to her dress, it kind of just looks like the leggings are a continuation of that gradient. But the leggings are still the thing that's holding her back from being solidly in first place, just because I hate the way the shoes look with the leggings. The fact that, because I mean, they're leggings, like they're the length of pants, they go down to her ankle, but then they're not socks. So her feet are bare from the ankle down. And you can see that because of the heels she's wearing, but also the straps of the heels wind up over her calf and over the legging. I just think that part looks super, super weird. So that is absolutely what's holding her back. But I really definitely had a strong moment while watching the Spring Unsprung movie where I saw this outfit animated and I was like, that is way cuter than I remember it being on the doll. And I will still say, I think the animation in this regard, like with this outfit specifically, the animation beats out the doll for me personally. But having seen it animated, I do think that I like it a little bit more. So I wanted to give her a little bit of justice as well, bump her up like a tier and a half, because she's pretty cute. Like, especially if you took the leggings off, I feel like this doll would be absolutely adorable. Two more to talk about today. This next one is going to be the Core Blondie Locks doll. I originally ranked her in fourth tier, which feels just wildly low. I really, truly can't understand that one. I know that a lot of Blondie's dolls, and this one also bothered me because of the brown fur on her shoes. I feel like if you've seen like some of my videos before, you might be aware of the fact that I tend to prefer accent colors to be a little bit more balanced in a design. Sometimes I enjoy a singular pop of color, like just a crazy colored handbag or something like that. But for the most part, if there's a color that is less present in a design, I like for it to at least be in a couple of places so that it feels balanced within the design of a character. So the intense brown, like molded fur on Blondie's booties, I guess, like whatever, her shoes. It bothers me because there's not really brown anywhere else in her outfit unless you count the little portraits on her skirt, but that's so small and it's also not quite the same color of brown. And that just bothers me. And it still does bother me. So I think she would have to be in like second tier, but that's still a lot better than fourth tier. And I don't understand why I disliked her so much because outside of that, like that's genuinely my only critique for this doll. Other than that, I think she's really, really cute. She's not on par with like Way to Wonderland Maddie, who I will continue referencing. It's just an absolute pinnacle of Ever After High design. So I don't think I could put her in first tier, but she definitely wasn't bad enough to be put into fourth tier. I regret that one also. Okay, and then we're going to end off the video on perhaps the instance of me eating my words the most. So this is the Through the Woods Cupid doll, and I originally ranked her in fifth tier, so like almost bottom tier. And the reason was because without context, I was like, okay, this line is called Through the Woods, but she doesn't really look like she's necessarily equipped to be going through the woods. Like the beret threw me off. I was like, I don't know what's going on with like the binoculars and everything. She felt maybe a little bit too put together to be going through the woods. And then, of course, once I saw all of the media, it was like, oh, that's pretty much actually what's happening. Like she's trying to get to a party, which is why she's dressed nicely. And also she is nervous to be going through the woods. Like she's not super thrilled about this. The woods are not Cupid's element. So it makes sense that she might be dressed more inappropriately to be traveling through the woods because she doesn't even want to be there. And I was watching that and I was just like, oh, yeah, I messed up with that doll. So looking at her now, I still would like to see more of the bronze because those bronze boots are unbelievable. Like she does have the bronze on her necklace. I think the belt buckle being bronze would have like cinched the deal for me. She needed to go all the way up into second tier though. Like she's not quite perfect for me. She doesn't like quite hit the same way that I want her to hit to be in first tier. But jumping from fifth to second is such a big thing. And I just, I think it's so funny that I was judging her so harshly on something that ended up being explained in the media. Like I did just kind of feel like a little bit of a shit for that one. So personal apologies, Cupid. This is absolutely a cute little outfit, and I was way too harsh on this doll. But yes, guys, this is going to be all of the dolls that I wanted to talk about today. Now I have brought justice to some of these Ever After High dolls. Like, I know they're just dolls. I know they're I can say this word, inanimate objects. I know these aren't real characters. Like, I get that, but I still feel kind of bad for how mean I was towards some of these dolls and some of their designs. So, like, I just wanted to show you I can look back, I can change my mind, and I do think these dolls are significantly cuter in the present day than I apparently thought of them beforehand. But yeah, that was my little like retrospective on my own Rainbow High ranking. If you enjoyed this, please let me know because like I am doing it because there were a couple that stood out to me while I was watching the Ever After High media. And so I was like, okay, this could be like a fun thing to do. But also, it might be kind of interesting to go back and look at some of my other rankings, like the Monster High rankings I could do, or like even some of the Rainbow High ones at this point might be old enough to where my opinions have sort of changed. So let me know if you'd like me to do this for other different brands, because I do think it could be fun to like just go through, even though it's not a, oh, I watched the media and now I feel differently, like with Ever After High. It could be interesting to just go through and see how my opinions have changed over time, like over the years, or maybe even just months. I'm not really sure how old some of these rankings are. But that could be a fun thing for me to do if you guys are interested in seeing that. So definitely let me know down below. But yeah, that's going to be it for me for today, guys. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night, whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.